Well, hello there, everyone. So good to have you back. Hopefully, everything is working out okay, checking all the technical stuff. But I am Alan C. Paul. If you're new to our God and Gigs Creator Checkup, this is where we help you each week on Fridays to solve a specific issue, deal with a specific problem, or really just kind of just connect as a community and help you become the creator that you are created to be. We're trying to go live on so many platforms right now. So I'm hoping you're catching us on one of them, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, X. We're actually going live on X, and I am trying to go live on TikTok right now, but it is fighting with me right now. So I'm trying not to be distracted as I reach over and try to get my stuff to work. I don't know if I did the wrong thing and pressed the wrong button. I'm not TikTok savvy at all. But oh, there it goes. So apparently I just had to take off the Wi-Fi or turn on the Wi-Fi. That was simple. But if you can hear me okay, please let me know, because sometimes I will get so discombobulated like I just was, and I'll realize the mic is off. So just hearing a comment, seeing some hellos, where you're watching from, even those little hearts, those things like that, anything like that will help me to be able to know that you are hearing me okay, that technically we're good. I'm also going to turn this little comments thing on the side. I haven't used this before, but I've noticed that when people comment, that whenever you watch the replay, you can't see the comments. But now, as you can see, I can pull up Anita, who's already joining us. Great to have you here, Anita. And as you comment, I'll also be able to see those comments over here on this little gray out right side. Okay. For those of you watching on TikTok, I appreciate you guys joining me. You cannot see the screen, of course, unfortunately, but you can, at least if you want to join the conversation and see the screen, see what we're sharing, you can always jump in on YouTube. Go to our YouTube link in the description of our profile, and you can join the conversation there on YouTube. That's one of the good things about TikTok, that gives you that direct connection to YouTube. Well, my friends, number one, I want to wish a early happy Father's Day to all of the fathers, everyone that has a father in their life, someone that they're honoring, or if you're a dad that's watching. This is our week. I joke with a lot of our friends in my church where we say we're kind of like the second tier. You've heard it many times that Mother's Day comes first. We're used to it. Dads are used to it. But in all seriousness, I want to honor fathers today as well this weekend, because without my dad being in my life, being an amazing man of God and an amazing father, I would not be where I am today. I have been blessed to be a father of three, which is my greatest joy on this side of heaven. Me and my wife having the opportunity and the privilege to raise three kids. And those who are in my life right now, the dads are in my life right now, those that want to be dads, they're looking up to us. They're looking up to others who have done this and want to do it right and aren't looking at the negative stereotypes. So quick shout out to all of our dads, everyone that is in our God and Gigs community, and those outside, those who have influenced and helped us to be better fathers, as that's the name we share with our Heavenly Father. All right. Well, let me grab my water real quick. I'm actually going to do two things. I hate going off camera, but I'm going to grab my water, and I want to open this window because it seems so dark in here. I don't know what it is about the timing that I do this when I don't open my windows, but it gets super dark. So I'm going to reach over here. Hope don't spill my water. I don't think I can get to my window without totally losing you guys. So assuming all the sound is working out okay, that everybody can hear, I'm going to go ahead and jump in to today's topics. So today we are going to be talking about our new 360 members. I always love talking about our members who have joined in the last month or so. Some are no longer as new, but I like to kind of do it more than once so that everybody at least gets a chance to hear their shout out. Also, we're going to do a quick recap of our May expert workshop. Actually, I should say, talk about how the workshop is now in our Creator Resource Network. We've already put it in there. So it used to be kind of like a replay. Now it's basically part of our library. So we're going to talk about what's available now in the Creative Resource Center so that you can really get into it. If you're a member like Anita is, for just $10 a month, or as a gold member for a higher fee, which is basically, I think right now, $60 or $65 a month, you can have access to that. We're also going to talk about a version plan update, some interviews. I'm sorry, I can't seem to talk. Let me slow down. Oh my gosh, some interviews that we have been a part of that we're very excited about, and some upcoming June events, including one tomorrow, our TMI workshop. There's a bunch of stuff happening, guys. So the news and notes has been getting longer and longer. So I apologize for that, but there's so much going on that I feel like if I leave anything out, and I didn't get out a newsletter this week, which bums me out. I hate saying that. But yeah, this week we did not get the newsletter done in time. And by the time I thought I could get it done, it was just too late. And I just figured I'd fess up instead of trying to cover for it or send it late. I was like, no, we missed an episode. We missed a newsletter. I apologize to everyone. But I will try to catch up and make sure that we don't miss out on another newsletter, because we try to do Monday podcast, Wednesday newsletter, Friday live stream. That's kind of like the thing. And so we missed out on Wednesday. So I apologize for that. All right. So vital signs will be the 6.5 essential components of a successful creative business, which is what we use as our theme for today. Then we're going to talk about making your community special. I am super excited about what's happening inside the Guiding Gigs app. So I want to talk about some of those upgrades that Mighty Networks is making available to us, so you can kind of see the cool stuff that our members have access to, and how you might want to do that in your own membership, kind of using these kind of like template things. Then the consult, a little bit of talk, a little tea. Okay, I know I don't usually spill the tea, but let's talk a little tea. Let's talk about all of these award shows. Let's consult about whether or not we should even care who won the gospel award, who won contemporary Christian this, that. I've always had a love-hate relationship, more hate than love, of award shows. So we're going to get into that. And then finally, our prescriptions, and talk about that. A little bit of housekeeping right off the bat as we get into our members that we are welcoming. If you check out the Guiding Gigs website right now, it seems to be having issues. Yesterday, actually, let me go to full screen for this. Yesterday, we found out that several websites, I would say not just several, there were thousands of websites that had issues yesterday, or I guess this last week, based on some major technical issues in some of the cloud services, the Amazon cloud, the Google cloud. So I'm trying to find out if our present issues with the Guiding Gigs website are related to that, or if it's just an internal issue that we need to fix. So for those of you who are looking for Guiding Gigs and you see that it's blocked or not operating, please give us time. I have to tell you that right off the bat, because some of our links are normally to guidinggigs.com. And if they don't work, I don't want you to be like, what happened? Like I said, it could be this external outage that's happened to a ton of different websites over the last couple of days, or it could be something internal, but we're going to try to get that fixed right away. So if you see any links to guidinggigs.com and they don't work, please just be patient. We'll make sure to get that up as fast as possible. But I saw that right before I jumped in, and I was really nervous about it. So I wanted to make sure that you knew that we are still alive. Guiding Gigs is still alive. We're just having issues with the website right now. Okay, so for those of you watching on TikTok, hello. I wish I could share my screen with you, but as I mentioned, this is just me talking with the screen that is on LinkedIn and on YouTube and Twitter and everybody else. Basically, everybody else gets the screen. I apologize, you guys don't get the screen. But if you'd like to get the screen, like I said, you can join us on one of those other platforms, especially YouTube's the easiest one. All right. So welcoming our newest members. We welcomed Crystal Pearson last week, and then the week before that, we welcomed Trisha Harrison. Both of them are amazing creators. Both of them are amazing entrepreneurs, and they are both now members of Guiding Gigs 360, which is our app. As I mentioned, you can go check out that app so that you can join us in Guiding Gigs 360. It is a Mighty Networks platform, so I'll talk a little bit more about that. But this is where we share more of our community than we ever could on social media. We give you a place, a space, and a voice. We give you individual threads to help you, whether it's music, arts, whether it's graphic design, whatever your specific discipline is, we help you in that. And we do weekly and monthly trainings, mostly monthly trainings, that if you are a part of the Creative Resource Network, you get in for free, because you've already basically paid your ticket every week, every month. So you don't have to worry about buying tickets. You're just in. Okay. So that's how you get into that. I'll talk about that more a little later. But I want to welcome Crystal and Tricia again. If they're in the building, I would love for them to say hi. If not, no big deal. Just want to make sure I see you in the membership, which I have. They've both been active in the membership. Speaking of Trisha Harrison, she is one of our clinicians, our creator experts, and she is now inside the Creator Resource Center. Now, some of you, I'll go ahead and tell you, you might have noticed a slight shift in my phrasing. I used to say creative. Now I'm saying creator. And you might wonder, why am I doing that? I want to go ahead and add that in while I'm talking about the Creator Resource Center. The reason is because pretty much the language that I've noticed in the industry is almost entirely shifted to calling anyone that's in the arts, entertainment, and content creators. And so I felt like it was getting a little bit hard for me to keep saying creative when every other, whether it's Spotify for creators, YouTube for creators, was another one that was for creators as well. I can't remember what it is right now, but they all say for creators. And I even did a search on trends on Google Trends, and it said, "Oh, creator is being searched more than creative." I was like, "All right, it's about time for me to start changing this in God and Gigs as well, because it's always been about creatives, but it's just the way names change, right?" So I'd be curious in the comments. Tell me whether you consider yourself a creative or a creator. Like, which one comes naturally to you? I'm probably going to have to go to creator simply because of SEO and because that's what people are searching for. But I'm curious what internally you guys think. That's just a little sidebar that I wanted to share with you. But Trisha's video is now in the Creator Resource Center so that you can watch it anytime you want. And once again, you can get that by joining the app. The Creator's Purpose, our U version has come up to 875 readers. Our U version devotional, I should say, our U version reading plan is now up to 875 readers. Wow, it's so close to 1,000. And 597 completed. Our goal is to have 1,000 completed, because once we have 1,000 people complete our U version plan, it will then get a little banner. It will be promoted more. So we're about halfway there. Please continue to share that devotional as you find it on YouVersion. All you got to do is go on YouVersion and tap in God and Gigs or Creator's Purpose, and it should pop up. Yes, we are on the Bible app. That's what that is, basically, the Bible app. And if you see a little close there, I kind of hid it a little bit. Didn't show it very clearly, but you see down here at the corner, there is coming soon another YouVersion reading plan. It is currently in approval. So pray for us that it gets approved. But if it gets approved, you will soon see the Creator's Authority, our third reading plan, on the YouVersion app. So check that out again on any Bible app, not any Bible app, but the Bible app, YouVersion app. Just type in God and Gigs. You can type my name as well, Alan C. Paul. I should pop up. So I would love to get your comments and your reviews on our YouVersion reading plans. Okay. All right, let's keep it moving because we got a lot of things to go through. Oh, this is super cool. All right, so this is coming up next Wednesday, y'all, as I'm recording. And if you're watching on replay, it might be happening like tomorrow. So watch out for this. I want you to get into the Creator Business Summit. See, there's that word creator again. So when you see these 5 people, you may not know their names specifically. You might have heard of them if you've been in the creator space for a while. But I would say at least 3 of these people are basically responsible for everything I know about content creation, building a creator business. Pat Flynn was one of the first gurus I started to follow. I read his book, Will It Fly, to help figure out whether I should build a membership. He has consistently been giving the tips and strategies that have helped me build this business. Amy Porterfield, multi-million-dollar seller of courses and marketing, online marketing made easy. I listened to her podcast for years, and I bought her first course on email. List Builder Society is what helped me build my email list from the get-go. And Nathan Barry, well, he is the CEO of Kit, which is the platform that I am talking about, that I use for my emails and my landing pages. And he is definitely one of the people I have followed intently to learn what he's taught about building a platform that sustains itself, that has this flywheel effect, that the more you use it, the better it gets, the more people use it. And then the other 2 I have learned from as well. Stu McLaren is a membership expert, and Caitlin Bourgoin, I think her name is. She is also a great expert. I started following on X just a little while ago. And all of this, all 5 of these amazing entrepreneurs are going to be sharing on June 18th, 2025 at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sorry, not that long, but still 5 hours of content that you can jump in or jump out if you can't watch the whole thing, and you get a replay. So I went quickly to get this link. Let me make sure this link is working because I went and grabbed it at the last second. Let's see, because again, I want to make sure that all of our links are working. What is it now? I can't remember the name of my link. This is sad because it always happens to me, it seems, when I'm ready to go into these live streams that I can't find a link, and it drives me insane. So while I am looking for that, I want to tell you why I think you should go is because, again, if you are at any stage of your creator journey, learning from these 5 people will supercharge your learning. It will supercharge your growth. You'll answer questions that you didn't even know you had, but you'll get the answers to them. Oh my gosh, it's working. I'm so happy. I was nervous that it wouldn't work. All right, so this is working. So let me make sure I don't close the wrong thing. Come back to this. And so you can use this website, partners.kit.com/summit. That's not too long. I thought that was going to be taken. I thought someone was going to take that and they wouldn't let me use it. But it looks like I'm allowed to use it. So let me go ahead and show that. Partners.kit.com/summit. Okay. So that will get you into the workshop. Again, there's replays. I know it's super long from 10 to 3. You might say, I can't attend 5 hours worth of a seminar as much as I want to. I want to watch the whole thing. Well, go ahead and get registered. It's totally free. And then you can at least get the replays. And here's a bonus I'm going to offer for you because I really want you guys to check this out. If you send me your registration confirmation, okay, your registration confirmation, just alan@guidinggigs.com. If you register and forward that to me, I will then forward you one of my best strategies and resources on how to build landing pages and welcome sequences that will get you more subscribers. That's what Kit does best of all, is help you get subscribers and build your email list. And so I've been able to do that with landing pages. And so if you send me your registration, I will send you the free gift of some of my best resources for using Kit. And that would be an amazing, amazing, amazing find for you because now you grow both from the information and from my personal stash of resources. So hope you guys will check that out. That is Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. All right, real quick, some recent podcast interviews. I'm still really enjoying listening back to this one with Gail Santil, which was a 2-parter. The 2-part one came out last week. The first part was out before, so it's episode 6 and 7. Would love for you to check that out, as well as 12 mini convos. This was really cool. I can't really make this bigger. I should have made it bigger. But 12 mini convos was a cool talk with Angel from Trinidad. And we got into some really cool stuff. And I always like to support other podcasters who are willing to put me on. So definitely go check that out if you have a chance. 12miniconvos.com. 12 is spelled out in the URL. Okay. Finally, I want to get to everything. Tomorrow, Saturday, as I'm recording, Too Many Ideas, the Too Many Ideas workshop. This is an idea that came from some of our friends that were just hanging out, and they were like, man, we have so many things that we want to do. We never know what to do. We're creative, but we're just overthinking everything. So I decided, you know what? Let's not do an overthinking workshop. Let's do a workshop that doesn't require you to overthink at all. You just show up. There's no registration. It's just a Zoom call. Okay. Now, you do have to let me know that you want the link. So that's the only thing. We do have to make a little bit of an easy thing where you can actually, show up for the thing. So I do have to post the link for Zoom, and I don't want to just send it to everybody because that could get really weird if you have strangers who don't know what this is about joining. So you do need to let me know that you want to get this link. So if you want this link, put TMI in the comments and how I should send you the link. You don't have to put your email address out there, but if you're like on Facebook or on YouTube, or you want me to DM you, send me your info so you can say, hey, I want this, I want to attend, and I'll send you the Zoom link. But again, no email required. I'm simply going to send you the Zoom link. You show up. That's how that one works, okay? Wilfredo's in the building. Good to see you, brother. Hope you can join us for this. Whoops, wrong thing. There it is. Wilfredo, hope you can join us, man, for this Too Many Ideas workshop. I love these little sessions. They're just totally like we just get up in the room and we talk about what ideas we need to pursue and how do we get out of our own head. And I think you would love that, man. So hope you can join us. I think I sent you the link last time. Not sure. But if you want to come, okay, Anita, you're good. Anita, I appreciate you. You got it because I think you are in the membership, and I'm pretty sure in the event space. I know a lot of times I get confused like this, okay? But I think this time when you click on the actual event, because it's not a registration, you will actually be taken straight to the Zoom. So in the app, under Too Many Ideas on that event, just go straight to the event. Okay. Yes, I know. I've thrown you off so many times. So, like, I'll give you a perfect example. For the kit workshop, the link is a registration. Why? Because it's not live. It's basically they want you to register. So anytime it's a webinar that you need to register for, I will always put the just the registration link. But if it's like a direct meeting, especially for those of us who are in the Guiding Gigs Gold program, and I just want you to come and show up, I'll usually put it either in the event or I will send it by email or chat, but you will get the direct link. Does that make sense? That's just basically how I have to do it because it's so confusing. I know sometimes between some things that are registration based and some things that are you're already registered. Here's the link. Okay. So that's what I'll do. Anytime you are already registered, look for your email or look in the chat. I'm sending you the link directly, most likely. If it's a registration page, I'm going to put that in the event so that everybody can register. And that way you guys can get in. But TMI is definitely like a send you the link kind of situation. No registration required. I hope that made sense. Did that make sense to everyone? I hope so, because we got to keep it moving. But I feel a little better now. I was a little nervous when I first got started. All right. Oh, just a reminder, if you want to check out any of this stuff, you can go to our newsletter, which again, I didn't send on Wednesday. I'm going to catch up with that. I'll get that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Our latest episode on the God and Gig Show podcast was a world changer. This was a game changer. Talking to Roberto Blake. And again, I mentioned this last week. You may not know Roberto Blake by name, but your favorite YouTuber does. Anyone in YouTube knows who Roberto Blake is. Why? Because he was one of the OG YouTubers that started really explaining how to use tech, how to implement these strategies to build channels, and how to actually be a creator in what he calls the creator middle class. Now, those of you who are on TikTok, like you guys have been eating up, some negatively, some positively, my clips that I've been using to talk about this episode. Well, if you want to go check out the episode, you got to go to the actual episode to listen to everything he said on YouTube. Okay. So if you put up Roberto Blake, God and Gigs, just search that out. You'll see where we have our interview and you can talk to him. You can leave comments and hear what he really said about some of the things that some of you guys got riled up about when you saw it on where he talked about how colleges are going to try to scam you by offering college creation degrees. People got upset at that comment, but Roberto doesn't care. Like I'm telling you, he is straight no chaser. He doesn't pull punches. He's not one of those people that's moved by your opinion. He's done it. He's made over $2 million in independent creator deals and helped creators make over 5 billion with a B views on their channels. He's not concerned about somebody who's just commenting on TikTok. All right. But if you want to hear what he really had to say, go and check out that episode. Once again, it's on YouTube and on all of our platforms in anywhere, Spotify, Apple, all those other ones. I would tell you go through God and Gigs, but I want to make sure to get that website figured out first. So, it's weird to not give you my normal links, but just go on those platforms. You'll find everything. We just got to get our hub kind of fixed up, make sure that's not messed up or anything like that. All right, we're at our vital signs. Let me back up one. It was good to see. Let me see. Mia's over here on TikTok. Awesome to see you. I love having friends that are here that I know that I recognize your names. And again, on TikTok, I know I can't share the screen, but I hope you guys are getting something out of these comments, even as I'm making them. All right. But let's go ahead and jump into our vital signs because this is going to be super, super impactful and helpful. And of course, it is the title of today's workshop. So let me go ahead and get that stinger in and we'll move ahead. Oh, wrong one. There we go. All right. Let's talk about the 6.5 essential components of a creator business, of a successful creator business. Now, even as I start this, I know one of the things that popped into my head immediately as I was sharing this was, okay, what exactly is essential to a creator business? The first thing that popped into my head was you got to have something to create. You got to have some kind of talent. Here's the thing that I realized as soon as I thought that. That's a given. So we're going to skip over the obvious that you need to have a talent, a gift, something to share that God blessed you with. You got to have that as table stakes in order to start your creative business. You got to have a gift and you got to have a calling and you got to have some kind of skill that you want to share with the world. Singing, dancing, writing, drawing, painting, content creation in terms of video, podcasting, editing, anything in the creator life. Okay. So we're really in the Garden Gigs. We don't delineate between the performing arts, the visual arts, and the content creation industry. Pretty much now, that's one of the things I realized about Garden Gigs. These are all gigs that we all do, and they all meld into one. We really can't now say the singer does not have to be a content creator. We can't say that the graphic designer doesn't have to know about marketing. We can't say that the dancer doesn't need to understand social media presence and SEO. You pretty much have to understand them all. You don't have to do them all, but you got to understand them all and know what they all are about, which is about what we're about to talk about. So let's get into these 6 components. And as I am going, I'm going to go ahead and do my banners because normally I always forget to do the banners, but I would like to have some banners for these. So we're going to have, and the first one is going to make you laugh. It's going to make you laugh. As soon as you see this and that pops up, you're going to laugh because this is so ironic that this is the first one. But I have to start with it because it is what it is. I have to do it. All right. So what are these 6 essential components of a creator business? And the half will be kind of like the bonus at the end. All right. So the first one, after you have a good sense of here's what I do creatively, your talent is already set. Okay. We're not talking about your particular talent. Whatever that talent is, whatever that gifting is, that's going to be your thing. All right. Here's the first one. And again, don't laugh. A dedicated website. I get it. Right now, my website is in, trouble. It's struggling. Okay. So ignore the fact that as I'm recording this, I got to go back and fix the website. Matter of fact, maybe this actually pulls out the problem and the point even better. That without a dedicated website, look at what I'm dealing with right now with a website that's acting crazy and broken. Without a dedicated website, you have nowhere for people to find you that is your own. Now, I know as soon as I start to say this, you're thinking maybe in your head, and please let me know in the chat if you think this in your head as well. You might think, oh, when I say a dedicated website, you're saying I got to have some kind of, brand spanking new, fancy graphics. Everything looks like, something that you would get on a superstar's website or a Walmart website or something else that's got, all this corporate money. You're saying I need to have a website like that because I can't afford that. This is not what I'm saying. This could be as simple as a landing page. And a landing page, basically, for many of you, if you hear what a landing page, you may not know what a landing page is. It's just a single page that has like your sign up, maybe some things about you. It's like one page and that's it. There's no sub menus. There's no go here. There's no go here, contact this, contact. All we're really talking about, honestly, is just a domain name, which is your URL. So like GodandGigs.com, Amazon.com, StreamYard.com, Kit.com. All we're really talking about is your domain and a host, some place where you actually host your website so that people can find it. That's honestly all we're talking about. I want to make sure we're starting from 101. If you have a dedicated website that is for your business, it is not a Facebook page, it's not an X page, is not just a page that could be taken away at any point. You actually have a domain, which you can buy at GoDaddy or some of these other places that you can actually buy domains, or you can do it through your hosting. Most of these places also, the hosting companies also offer domain name registration, and you're hosting for your website. Even if it's a Squarespace or Wix or a template website like that, I've heard bands do Bandzoogle. Doesn't matter. You still got to own your domain. That's the key. And you got to have a place that's hosting it where you're posting your content, or at least posting, or at least where to find me. In the age of social media, I know many of us say, oh, well, I just need to have my Instagram page, my Facebook page. At any point, y'all, we just found out how social is being taken down, and things get taken down left and right for whatever reason, and you never know why. That is not your property. It is Facebook's property, Meta's property. It's YouTube's property. It's Google's property. So you got to have your own website if you want to have a true creator business where people can find you. And again, I know I'm guilty of this struggle when it comes to Guiding Gigs because of issues with my website right now. I'm guilty with this with my own AlanCPaul.com. I want to make it better. However, it exists. It could be better, but at least I have one. So I have a legit business because I have a place that I can call home online. Now, of course, you might say, okay, well, I'm not going to be selling product online. I'm going to be selling products like Crystal. I'm going to be selling merch. But you still need to have a place where people can find you, and then you can contact with them, call them, send the email, do the physical thing, and you can send your merch and connect with people that way. But a dedicated website is probably point number one of things you have to have in order to have a successful business in the coming years in the creator economy, the current creator economy. Okay. Anita, when you say mine won't work, are you talking about your website? Because I know what you're talking about. We were discussing that earlier about your website. So if that's you and you're having trouble with your website, you're not alone. I got to go in and do some things. I'm not sure what I did wrong with my own website, but I got to fix it because, yeah, it is not working at the present time. So I'll have to figure out some new ways to get you guys into some of the platforms and things like that. But thank God we have two different ways to do it. We can do it on our membership as well. All right. Number two, and I just put it in the chat, business structure is number two. Okay. So if you have a business structure, put a yes in the chat. Now, what do I mean by business structure? That means you have some kind of business entity that is written down, registered, or put into your financial records, your tax records. In other words, it exists, okay? It exists. You've applied for a license with the state. Your fictitious name is put with your state that you're living in. So if you have a business structure, this is the number two thing, but probably right up there, like I said, 1A, 1B, of having a real creator business. You cannot have a real creator business. And again, this goes right back to our talk. I'm going to go back real quick to Roberto's slide, because Roberto was hitting this hard. You would not have a creator business that could get any of the benefits if you don't have a structure. He talked about insurance. That's one thing that people asked a lot about in his episode. He said that he had $10,000 worth of gear stolen from him at a conference in Florida. Of course, it was Florida, right? So how did he get his money and recover all that gear? I mean, there was footage, there was all kinds of things. He's a photographer and videographer by trade. He had gear insurance. So he had theft insurance for his gear. But, and I noticed this on TikTok, a lot of people ask, like, oh, what company did you use? Well, here's the thing. If he hadn't had an LLC, a company that could be insured, he couldn't even get the insurance. So before you worry about what company can insure your stuff, you got to make sure you're really a company. You got to make sure you actually have the structure of an LLC, of a corporate, C Corp or an S Corp. Most likely for most of us will be a self-employed situation. So you might simply have a fictitious name. But whatever it is, it's a business entity. And if it's a business entity, it can be protected because it's not just you, it's your business. And now you have the right framework in order to create the things that you need to create in order to protect your business and protect your stuff. So let's put business structure in here. I don't want to put in the same order. So when I flash through them at the end, there we go. Business structure is there. That's better. Okay. Now, let's now look at the third one, which I think goes right in line with business, but most of us creators do not like to talk about this. Okay. And I think you know where I'm going. I think you know where I want to go with the next one. Let's go ahead and go back up here. There we go. After business structure, what do you need? You need some system of financial management. Yep, I know, not the sexy, not the fun, not the creative side that you were hoping for. But if you do not have some form of financial management built into your business structure, now you are not really a business. You are a hobby. And there is nothing wrong with a hobby except thinking that your hobby is a business. This hits home for me way more than you realize, because for years I was doing this thinking I had a business and not having any kind of financial management system. So guess what I had? I had an expensive hobby. Without financial management, without knowing things like profit, things like loss, things like expenses, unless you have these kind of numbers flowing in your head about your business, it's not a business. It's just your creative dream. And that, again, I want to be very straight up, is not bad. But be honest with yourself. If you want a business, you must have accounting software. You must have an accountant. You must have something that's counting the coins. If you're not counting the coins, it's not a business. A business is in the business of coins. It's in the business of making money, or at least, even if it's a nonprofit, of sustaining itself and its mission. Without any kind of financial accounting, there is no accounting for the mission. There's no accounting for the funds, which means it doesn't really exist as a business. And again, if it's a nonprofit, I get it. But even nonprofits, even probably more so, need to be systematic about judging and gauging and tracking their finances. So if you're not doing that, you're missing out on the third component of actually being a good creator business. It's an essential part. Now we can talk about the software. I'm currently using Relay. I'm currently using Bill.com, although I'm looking at some other ones right now that I might switch to in terms of our financial accounting. Obviously, QuickBooks has been around for a long time. And I also have, of course, trying to get the right professionals in to help me with this stuff. But point is, it needs to exist. If you don't have it, let's just be honest, you don't really have a business. Now, this next one that I'm going to share is going to be kind of like more in the creative space. And you may say, oh, wait, is that even essential? I'm going to say it's essential. Okay. This component, easy graphic design tools, or you might just say a marketing or promotions arm where you create your graphics and you create your social media stuff. I think this is essential in 2025 for creators in the creator economy, because there's just no way, even if you hire this out and get people to help you, there's no way you can exist in this world as an entrepreneur, creator, entrepreneur, without having some kind of knowledge of what you want your brands, your graphics to look like. Even this right now, you can see I'm not a graphic designer, but you can see how we move to the purple and the orange, because I just felt like that was a good match with the different brandings that we have and our flow and the way we feel. So I changed the brand colors. It used to be just black and orange. We added a purple in. How did I add in all these graphics? Using Canva, and then using also things like Blue Beautiful AI for our presentations. And there was one other one I forgot about I wanted to share. Maybe it wasn't in the graphic design. But the point is, you got to have access to it. You got to have it. Yes, you got to pay for it. You simply can't have a business without using the tools of business. And one of those is your look. Now, again, this is easy graphic design. I'm not trying to get you in the weeds. So I'm curious so far. We talked about dedicated website. We talked about business structure. We talked about financial management. And we talked about easy graphic design tools. So far, we've done 4 of the 6.5. How many do you have already present in your creator business? Do you have all 4 of these already? Do you only have a couple? I would love to know on TikTok as well, those who are watching on replay. How many of these have you already implemented? You already have access to easy design tools. Are you using them to build your business? How many of you already have financial management software or financial management system, or you check your numbers regularly? If you don't have one of these things, it doesn't mean you're not a legit business. It just means you're missing an essential component of a creator business. And God wants you to be complete, lacking nothing. That includes in your business as well. So over here, Anita says 4. Okay, so you got 4. Awesome. 4 out of the 4. So let's keep it moving. I see Wilfredo also gave us a comment. He said 100%. Okay, I'm assuming you're talking about, Wilfredo has all 4 as well. Awesome. So we're cooking. Well, I love this. I love those of you who are not watching or not able to comment. Maybe you're watching on X and I can't see your comments. If you're commenting as well, I would love to know. I'm going to go back and check on these links. All right. So next we have after the design tools. This one is, again, one that might seem obvious, but many of us creators, we do not think about. As a matter of fact, I look at it and I realize I didn't think about this at the beginning. I have it, but I didn't think about it intentionally. And that is a client booking and communication platform. This is so key to any concept of you keeping up with customers, because a business has to have customers. You cannot have a business and not have clients and customers. Again, nonprofit space, even church. Our customers, our clients are our congregants. So we still have to be in a shape of a framework that allows us to communicate with them. So you might say, okay, well, what's my client booking? Maybe it's just the telephone. And maybe it's just how you do your onboarding calls and your inboarding calls. Well, that is a communication platform. So you have one, your phone, but you probably have way more than that on your phone in terms of email, all this other stuff. So you actually have a huge suite of tools available to book clients and to communicate with your audience, your customers, all that kind of stuff. So I suggest as you go through this, you think about which one of these things could be improved. Maybe you don't really have a client booking situation. Maybe you never tried to book clients through a onboarding process, which you could talk about with Trisha. Go back and listen to her workshop. She talks about how you onboard clients. You might say, I don't have clients like that. Well, if you don't have clients like that, and you're simply doing like service and stuff like that, where you're not really connecting with people, maybe you need to consider it. Maybe you need to think about how could this business be better if I wasn't just relying on this one thing or this one gig or this one way of doing things. And I started thinking of myself more as a business that has multiple clients coming in, and how would I communicate with them? So that is the 5th of those. And I see that, Wilfredo, you use TidyCal. That's super cool. Oh, let's go back here real quick. Let's go ahead and add this so that you guys can have your comments showing up. All right. And you might say, okay, well, what's number 6? We got all the way through that. Number 6. Now, if you know me at all and you know what I've shared, you should know what number 6 is. I'm wondering if you're curious what number 6 is, or you think you can guess. I'm not going to make you guess because I want to get through this. We're going really not slow, but we have so much to talk about that we have very little time left. But anybody know? I just typed it in, but does anybody know what number 6 is? The 6th essential component. And then we'll do a little half and then we'll be on our way. All right. Well, I don't see any, so I'm not going to make you wait in suspense. This is number 6. To have a legitimate, successful, essential creator business, you must have an email list platform. Yes, social media exists. Yes, people are finding people on social. Yes, technically, most of the time, social does not give in and get you out, throw you out, or kick you out. But let's just be honest. If you don't own at least the way to connect with them, and email could be extended to text. If you don't have a way to connect with them, you're not in business. You have no way to make sure that those customers remain your customers unless social media is just, unless you're paying for all the money and you still don't know if you're going to reach them or not. So as you all know, I recommend Kit because Kit is what has helped me to build my email list platform. As a matter of fact, I'll be straight up with you. Just today, I looked and I was like, I haven't been getting a lot of recommendations yet. What's going on? And I looked and my recommendations for the Creator Network and Kit was off. Here's what's crazy about that. You know how I knew it was off? Because I wasn't getting new subscribers from it. It's so consistent in getting me new subscribers because Kit has this referral engine that I knew it was something wrong when I wasn't getting subscribers. I bet you need a platform like that. But whatever platform you choose, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Flowdesk, whatever you use, please make sure you build your list with people who care, who want to know more about what you know, still just spam people, but you got to have an email list platform to own your connection to your followers. All right. So we've gone to all 6. Who got all 6? Who has a dedicated website? Who has business structure? Who has financial management systems, easy graphic design tools to build and do easy logos and things like that? Client and booking communication platforms and an email list platform. I want to slow down before we keep going. Who has all 6? If you're commenting later and you're just putting in the comments, do that as well. I'll go back and look. So if you have all 6, you have the essential components of a creator business. Anita says 4 out of the 6. So I'm assuming the 4 you don't have, the 2 you don't have is the email list platform and the client booking. You're still got a great start. I love that you're sharing that because now we know exactly where we can help you in terms of building those last 2 parts of an essential creator business. This is perfect. This is exactly why I did this when I was thinking of what should we share. And by the way, you really should consider going to the Creator Summit because it's free and they'll be talking all about this kind of stuff. This is exactly what they'll talk about in that session. Okay. So let's continue though. I want to make sure to get to the rest of the stuff before we run out of time, before I have a gig this evening. So thank you for that. This was a great session. That was a great different thing to go through, just those 6 components. Oh, almost forgot I didn't tell you the half. There is a half, and the half which I will go ahead and put in the, actually, no, I'm not going to put the chat. I'm just going to tell you. Okay. The half is essential component, and you don't just follow me, is being a part of a community of other creator business people. Anita is already there, which is why she's going to get additional expert advice on how to continue to build her creator business. And here's why it's essential. If you are not a part of a community, all you're learning is what you think you're supposed to learn. All you're doing is just Googling and chat GPTing your way to think that you'll be building a business. If you don't have a community, you are basically on your own. And we all know the stats on businesses, how they fail in the first year or first 3 years. Why? Mostly because they don't have a network of mentorship and encouragement to help them. Hey, don't do this. You should do this. Hey, don't do this. Most of them fail on their own because they're staring at their own spreadsheets and their own stuff, and they're isolated. Isolation will immediately kill most businesses. Isolation has probably killed more businesses than cash flow issues, than burnout, any of those other things. It's isolation, and isolation does lead to burnout. So that is the half. Is it entirely necessary? Probably not. But I would go so far as to say it's pretty much essential to have a community if you're going to be in the creator business. As God and Gigs 360 has proven, you can get there, you can start to grow. Even if you've never done this stuff before, you'll have somebody to help you out. All right, now let's move on to our next one because we're almost out of time. We only have 5 minutes. I got to get to 3 things in 5 minutes. That's impossible. So we may go over today. Not too far. We'll go over a little bit, but I'll respect your time. But let's move on to our lab work. All right. This makes me super excited, y'all. And I'm probably going to have to share a screen for this. I'm probably have to go a little long today because this is just too cool. Now, some of you have seen this before in previous our previous live streams for our creator checkups. And notice once again, I say creative checkups for 10 years. Now I'm trying to say creator checkups. It's tough to say, but it's what it is, right? So for our creator checkups, we have talked about the membership, our app on Mighty Networks, and how they're adding these new features like the streaks that they added, where you get points just for showing up and checking in, and then you can use those points. This is the most altruistic, coolest feature. I've been debating whether anyone else has ever done this. I've never seen this done, where you get points, but you don't get anything for your points. The points are for awarding to other members. The points are for saying thank you. The points are saying you're awesome. You get points by showing up, and then you give those points away. I love that part of this app. But there are some other cool things that have been added, and it's making our membership special. And if you have a membership, I would encourage you, find ways to make your artist community feel like home. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it feel like home. So here's what has been added in the last few weeks. If you haven't noticed this, if you are in 360, this is your chance to see what's really been going on, because it is super, super cool. And like I said, I already know I'm going to go over a little bit, and I'm not worried about it. So here we have the membership, okay? But what's super cool, even as I check my chat, see what's going on in the chat, this is what has been changed in the last few weeks. There's our Creator Resource Center. But if you look down, what you used to see was kind of like a feed, kind of like just one thing at a time. But Mighty Networks emailed us all, and they're like, hey guys, we got something super cool. It's different now. We have created a YouTube style page where you can go through and find your courses and your lessons and things like that, just like you would on YouTube. Y'all, when I saw this, I was like, you got to be kidding me. One of the few things I've always envied about other programs and other software was this feature. It was basically the browse, the page for you feature, where you just went down and you looked at, oh, what do I need to learn today? Oh, I need to learn blank, blank, blank. And you can go there. Well, that is now in Guiding Gigs 360. No matter where you are, if you are in the Creator Resource Center, you have access to all of these webinars, seminars, and so on. So even if you missed them in the replays, you have access to all of them. I mean, we're talking about this one over here, Escaping the YouTube Graveyard, How TubeBuddy and Vizard help me get views and engagement. That's for YouTube. It's Misty Phillips Spark of a Partnership, how she built relationships that amplify trust. There's the Email Growth Engine, which is our last seminar we did with ConvertKit, or with Kit, I should say, with Shiv, who's amazing. Right now, they're in their convention. So next week, they'll be back, and it'll be cool to have that chance to do the summit with many of the people who are there at the workshop right now in Boise, Idaho. But this is what's making me so excited. Like, just knowing that you guys, from now on, those of you in the Creator Resource Center, Anita, I would love to know what you think about this, if you like this look, because this is what you'll get a chance to be part of and look at. Even if you have missed one of these workshops, there are the two that I have with Lasanda on podcast reach and income. And there's one from Christian on how to turn your creative gifts into sustainable income. This one connected with Roberto's episode. Game-changing stuff. Oh, and my gosh, I had not made this. Y'all going to see this go live. I just realized, look at that. I did not make this visible. I could have sworn I did. So you know what? Let's make it visible right now. Yep. Now, because I said Trisha's video had been added, and I guess you guys didn't know it had been added, but I just added it. So there it is. There's also Jermaine Morgan's on how to achieve creative success in 3 months. So this, y'all, makes my membership just look outstanding. Not only that, we also have the tutorials. All of this is in the $10 a month tier. So how to set up automation in your business. This came from a question from Pamela. We walked through this with her. Then we had behind the scenes setting up a landing page with ConvertKit, now Kit. That is still applicable now. The training on email sequences and tip jars, once again, applicable now to Kit, and new tech for your creative business, all the different things that we were adding. So yeah, all I have to say is this is a treasure trove of information, and it's what is happening inside our membership, and it makes it even better. Not to mention, let me go back here real quick, the fact that we have places where you can connect with the members. So all of this is designed to make our membership special. And I want everyone to feel special inside our membership. That's what I look for. Okay. I want you to know you have a place, a space, and a voice. Yep. I love it. You got to check it out. You got to let me know what you think of the Creator Resource Center. because I think it's going to be so much easier to navigate now. It's going to be so much easier to find things. You're not going to be lost. And, hopefully you weren't lost before, but now it should be so much easier to find things. All right, my friends. So that was our lab work. Let's quickly jump into our last section, which I don't know. You guys go. Let's see if we're interested in this. Some people might be like, I don't care. Maybe you do care. Maybe you don't. Not sure. We'll find out. So my question is next in the console. Should we be concerned about who wins the award show? So have you been anywhere near any ideas or talking about the BET Awards or some of the other awards, mainly the BET Awards last week? I think it was last week. I'm not sure because I don't watch them. Again, I don't watch them. But here's what I've been hearing that's all the rage, all the tea has been about an artist who is basically a rapper and not a Christian rapper in terms of, her common work, her common niche, has won Gospel Song of the Year, I believe. And people were up in arms. But they're up in arms like every week, every award show. So my question to y'all is this, and you can share in the comments later because I know we got to keep it moving. Do you even care who wins these award shows, especially if they're not Christian award shows? Are you concerned that non-Christians win gospel artist awards? Is this something you should be concerned about? Or is this something that is a ho-hum? Because I've been ho-hum, honestly. I've been ho-hum for years about award shows. I don't think they represent anything other than some accolades from your industry peers. That it does, because for Grammys, other people vote. And I know it's political, but you'd like to think artists actually pay attention to other artists. But yeah, I really do believe that we put way too much stock in these award shows. Who won the Grammys? Who won this? Like, let's just talk about that. Like, even the Grammys, in terms of whether it really validates you artistically. Have you had a dream to win a Grammy? Great. But after you win the Grammy, I wouldn't don't get me wrong, it can create a lot of opportunities for you. But you're still a musician, you're still creative at the end of the day. And that is a recognition that can build your career, but doesn't change your identity. And so my question to you is, should it matter who wins? Have you been concerned about who wins? Because personally, I'm not. I think awards are this tiny snapshot of what people think at a certain time on a certain vote for a certain award. That's it. It doesn't validate my life. It doesn't make, now I am very proud of the awards I have won. Maybe you are too, but I'm proud of them. I'm not putting them up on a pedestal for everybody else to be proud of. It's just me personally having a attaboy moment. So maybe you're one of these people who's like up in arms that a secular artist won a gospel album award. It was also not a church event, not a Christian event. So they are under no obligation to honor Christian principles in the way they award things. They're not. They've never said this goes to the best Christian artist who's a Christian. They never said that. So they didn't break any rules. Some people are upset about it. You might have to look this up if you don't know what we're talking about. And then the podcast that I helped produce, they talked about this as well, along with some other people, Brandon Lake, talking about how worship music has to be a little bit more simplified, not as much Christianese. So, I see you, Fredo, over here on TikTok now. I love it. You're everywhere, man. You're everywhere. I love it. So I don't think we should be worried about award shows. I really don't. And again, maybe I'm wrong. And those of you who are watching, I would love to hear your comments. If you think I'm wrong and like, hey, this is a problem when secular artists win. This is God and Gigs, y'all. I'm never going to be one of those militant people about the secular sacred divide. I am not going to be that person. I know God can honor my work in the secular field, in the area where it's the mainstream arts and entertainment, because that's where he planted me. I also know that I'm going to glorify him wherever I go, including in that four walls. And it's become a integrated lifestyle. It's everything I'm sharing with you lately has been about the creator lifestyle, not necessarily the creator career. It's a lifestyle. I live a creator lifestyle. My creator lifestyle takes me into many different areas, many different places, many different kinds of rooms. Almost never do I spend all of my time in the Christian bubble, the church bubble. So maybe that makes me, I don't know, you might think makes me lax, or maybe it makes me just more aware that, hey, not everything revolves around the way people see things inside the church. Are we called to influence? Yes, but we cannot direct groups that are not, that's not their morals. That's not their fashion. It's not them. So why are we spending time worrying about it? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I didn't see any comments about that, which probably means it's no big deal to you guys. And I'm happy to see that. I am very happy that you guys are not concerned about award shows. I decided to bring it up because, hey, it's big in the news, but if it's not important to you, it's not important to me. And I love that. All right. So let's finish up because I got to stop after a couple of minutes to make sure we get ready for our show tonight. So our prescription is to sign up for the Kit Creator Summit. Again, it is free. I am an affiliate of Kit, but this is not where you're buying anything, okay? If you decide to sign up for Kit later and you decide not to stick with the free account and you decide to go ahead and get a paid account, which again, only means you're growing. The only reason you get a paid account is because you're growing your email list, which is a good thing because then it pays for itself because you can sell things to your membership, to your community through the emails, and then you're paying for itself in terms of what you're doing. So this is once again, the link for the Kit Creator Summit. I tried to make it a little bit shorter and it seems to be working. partners.kit.com/summit. Okay, so I went ahead and made that link for you guys until we get the God and Gigs links all back working again, which I'm going to work on as soon as I get off here. Oh, it looks like TikTok doesn't believe I'm still on. Let's tell. Okay, yes, I'm still here at TikTok. All right, so go ahead and that is your assignment. Your prescription is to sign up for the Kit Creator Summit. Okay, go check that out. Again, it's free. Even if you can't go at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, the replays with these 5 amazing guests, these 5 people who are incredible. They are incredibly successful. They're all about the real life of creators. None of them are people who are just going to just tell you to go make $1 million, figure it out yourself. None of them are like that. These are all people that I have followed that have been mentors virtually for me as well. So I would highly suggest you guys check this out. Again, it's Wednesday, but go ahead and sign up right away. Go ahead and get your registration in, and that way you'll get the link. You can join, or you can watch the rest on replay. And once again, if at some point you want to learn more about Kit, simply send your registration. Let me just put my email in here so you guys can see it. And it's the easy one. I'm going to make it super short. Alan@godandgigs.com. Okay. If you go to alan@godandgigs.com, just send me an email, forward your registration to me, and I will send you my best resources on using Kit, including landing pages and how I built out my welcome sequence. Of course, you got to have a Kit account to kind of know how that works, but that way you'll have the resources already before you even go to the Creator Business Summit. I can also check on this after the summit, but I will send you this even if you just register. Okay, I would love to see you guys registering for this conference. So we've had a bunch of people jump in today. It's loved having Wilfredo both here on TikTok and over here on YouTube, or Facebook, I should say. Anita joined us via YouTube, and I did not see the rest of you who are watching. You might have been watching on LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn can do comments too. So thank you guys for watching on LinkedIn. If you're watching on Twitter, which X, I know. If you're watching on X, super cool. And our friends here on TikTok, which again, thank you guys for joining us, even when you do not have the benefit of the screen. It makes a huge difference to know we got support. Wilfredo hanging out with us both places, but showing us the TikTok love. It's a new thing for me, but I'm starting to get the hang of it, starting to get more comfortable with it. So yeah, appreciate you guys joining us. All right, my friends, got to get out of here. This has been a great creator checkup. Once again, keep your eye out for more news via the podcast, guidinggigs.com. Well, once again, will be guidinggigs.com/339 for Roberto Blake, the latest one that we shared. There it is. Where is it? 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 There it is. So go ahead and make sure you check that out. We would love to get some more eyes on that video. Once you see it, you'll see why I feel like this one is important and special and needs to be shared, and why it helps you map out a true path to a sustainable creator income, an income that can sustain you, that can pay the bills, that can take care of things and actually pay you back more. That's the goal of that workshop. I'm sorry, I say it's a workshop. It's like a workshop, but it's a podcast interview. That's at, again, guidinggigs.com/339. If that doesn't work, simply go look for any of your podcast apps, type in Guiding Gigs, and you'll see it. Okay. All right, my friends, that is it for now. This was a great, great, great call. Thank you guys for joining us. Can't wait to see the rest of you who are in Guiding Gigs 360 in the app. We'd love to see you guys in our TMI workshop tomorrow. Again, if you want access to that TMI, let me know where to send you the link, because I got to know where to send it to you. But pretty soon, I don't want to ever do registration for this, but we'll have to figure out like a more organized way to get you guys in. But I always want this to be something that you enjoy. So we'll make sure that you can get the information. It's tomorrow at 9:30, early 9:30, help you guys get up. Even if you're on the West Coast, help you get up and get some creative energy into you for the rest of the weekend. Happy Father's Day once again to everyone that will be celebrating over the weekend. God bless you all. And until next time, continue to become the creative that you were created to be. God bless, and we'll see you next. Wow. Should announce it. Next week, you won't see me. That's right. I will be traveling. So we will not have a creator checkup next week. We will catch you 2 weeks from now. I'll make sure to put that in the newsletter, which will be sent on Wednesday. God bless. Take care.